Hello, beautiful beings, sparks of the divine. Today I'm being called to share with you guys some of the pictures, some of my drawings from some of my astro travels. I've had this book for a while, but I haven't really shared with anyone these pictures. Um, Mostly because I wasn't sure if people were ready to see these pictures. And I was a little scared, to be honest. I was a little scared to share some of these pictures as well. But before I share the pictures, first of all, I had to go into meditation and connect with some of these beings and ask if it was okay for me to share their picture, because I feel like there's some sort of like, well, first of all, I feel respect for them, and I have to respect their individuality and their sovereignty, and them being, I have to be respectful of that. And also I feel like there's some sort of this there's diplomacy too. There's some sort of diplomacy that goes when you communicate with these beings. So I went and asked for sort of like their permission to see if it was okay, and then I felt like it was okay to share, because a lot of these pictures, believe it or not, you've all seen them. It's been either in cartoons or in other videos. People have talked about them, so it's nothing new really. It's a lot of it people have seen before. It's just that people don't think it's real. And I didn't think it was real until I myself started encountering with these beings. So yeah, I'm gonna share these, but also um, I've connected with consciousness, pure consciousness, and I was trying to go to see if it was okay to share these pictures as well with God. And what came through is that it's okay to share, but to make sure that you guys understand, the main point is not to see the pictures. The main point is not to you know kind of like you know see who's who, or it's not that's not the main point. What God wants you to realize and wants you to see, it's that these beings are also co-creators. They're having a co-creative they're part of the cosmic dance of creation. Basically, that's what God was saying, that they want you to look at the bigger picture and see these beings, these other realities, these other beings as almost like you, like what you are. Like, they're co-creators, and they are also part of the same cosmos, the same cosmic dance of creation. And God wants you guys to see them as from that perspective. um yeah he wants you to understand that the cosmos and consciousness is not still. It's always in movement. And when they talk about stillness, it's basically allowing yourself to stop yourself from to give yourself a moment from the busyness of life, from the chatting, the inner monologue going on all the time, to give yourself a moment for quiet, and so that you're able to tap and get into alignment with the cosmic flow, with the cosmic dance. um because when you get to that point, that's when you're able to channel these higher information. See, God is not trying to keep secrets from anyone. Like, anyone who seeks the information has it. It's for everyone. He's not hoarding information. And I feel like that part of why I'm sharing this is because I I don't want to hoard any information, because then I will be doing the same thing that these other people, that what I'm talking about, that these other people have been doing for hundreds and thousands of years, hoarding information. So if I know something that's going to help everyone, um, I'm not going to hoard the information. I'm going to share it. And that's what God wants you to realize, that you also have the opportunity to get information on anything you want. You guys also have access to interact with other realities, interact with other beings. There is a little bit of work that goes with that. There's a little bit of kind of like reprogramming that has to happen, but we all have the same ability, and we all are channels, and we all get our own information. Uh, what I do is I what I do is basically, and this is more from a quantum perspective, I basically switch my point of attention from projecting outward to going inward. So this holographic reality, I bring my point of attention. Everything's about your point of attention. Where your point of attention is, that's where your energy goes, and that's where your reality is. That's why your whatever you experience as reality, that's where it is. So the point of attention is very important. So anyway, so the main point is for you guys to see the bigger picture, not get stuck with like who is who, but more of the bigger picture as to what we are all doing as a whole. And yeah, the one example that came through was like think of a household that has like brothers and sisters, and all these kids live in the same household, but they all have different they all have their own personalities, they all have their own interests, and they all play their different games, they all create their own things. It's kind of like the same thing. We're all in the same house, which is the cosmos, the creation. We're all in the same house, but we all have our own identities, and we all have our ways of expressing our own interests. And that's the same with these other civilizations, these other realities. The same thing goes with that. Okay, so I'm gonna share with you from my book. And okay, these beings are not the first ones I ever encountered. The first guy I ever encountered in the astro was another extraterrestrial, and to be honest with you, it freaked me out. I was freaked out for like 2 weeks, to be honest. But the first time I saw him come through, I was like, I was really scared. I was like, I was really scared. And I didn't want to close my eyes for like 2 weeks. And he kept coming back, coming back. And finally I said, okay, so you want to talk to me? What is it? And he said, I am you and you are me and we're all one. And at that moment, at that time, I said, oh, I don't know about this. So yeah, he was one of the first beings. He was actually a purple being, and who looked like an extraterrestrial as well, not human. And he's almost sort of like an interdimensional being. And so at that time, I wasn't, I was just starting to meditate, so I didn't know much, but it was like I didn't understand much of the law, the oneness. But yeah, it was pretty scary. I won't lie. Getting into to connect with some of these other beings, because of the energy different, the frequency difference, can be a little bit challenging at first, and it's a little scary for the human. But anyways, but I'm gonna share some of the ones that I've had this book for like 3 or 4 years, by the way. So I'm gonna share some of the first ones that I saw, and here we go. Okay, so this one, you guys, this one here, these ones, I saw these ones. Okay, they were in their own spacecraft, and they're kind of like a pale grayish kind of color. Okay, some of them are very pale white, and some of them have a bigger head, some don't. This one here has a very large head, very occipital side of the head, very large. The way they move is very, almost, it looks like they're floating, and it's very intimidating when you first encounter them, because if first of all is the frequency, and kind of like different frequency, and it's very scary, honestly. But then, the more you meditate, the more comfortable you become, and you start to realize that there's other things out there. And if they wanted to hurt you, they would have by now, and they haven't. So then you feel like you're okay. And so they are very, this one has very long, like, fingers. And that doesn't have 5 fingers, but it has long fingers. Anyways, but they kind of move very, like, ethereal almost. Yeah, but they are usually, when they are in their spacecrafts, they seem to be just busy working, doing their own thing. Like, they're not doing anything that, to really get you scared. It's not like some of those abductions that people talk about. Some of these beings are just minding their own business in their spacecraft, doing whatever they have to do. Some of them are very short, like 3 feet, tiny ones, very skinny little ones, very white, you know. Anyways, this one here, I was in the asteroid and I popped into her spacecraft. This one here, and she looked like, honestly, she looked like Yoda. Like, you know, they have the ears like Yoda, and some of these civilizations, they have babies too, and they are baby Yodas basically. The ears are very floppy, and she was very kind. Um, she wasn't scary at all. Like, I felt really good with her. And yeah, she was wearing this outfit here. So a lot of these other beings, honestly, they seem like they wear these these clothes, like you almost think like superheroes. Like they wear those capes, and they wear like those like, you really, a lot of times you don't see their faces because they're wearing these hoodies, kind of like hoodies. um so yeah, and some of them, like, it looks like they fly, almost like they can fly, or levitate. I should say levitate. They should kind of like move from side to side, but they kind of levitate and then come back. She was very kind. She wasn't scary at all. Yeah, that was that one. Let me see this one here. And excuse my drawings because they're not very good. I don't draw very well. This one here was an angel. And angels, for the most part, um, so everything is energy. And a lot of these higher dimensional beings are, there's some that have a form, some that look like they have semi form, but it's mostly light. Um, or see-through. You know, there's plasma beings, there's these angelic beings. Angels, for the most part, you can I can see them, and you guys can see them too when you if you try. They are sort of like a light with the form of an angel. Okay, they're very energetic. The light, they're very powerful too. They always appear to me as white, as light, golden light or white light. And again, their way of their reality is totally different. Like, they don't have the same parameters of reality that we have. So the way they work is totally different. They are in the astro basically. And yeah, they do have beautiful wings. And that was one of the first things that I noticed with when I started tapping into these other realities. It was the wings, because they kind of look like bird wings. And that's when I realized, like, what the heck, these are angels. There are angels. There's real angels. Like, they haven't been lying about that. Like, all these other beings that we see, aliens, angels, they have not been lying about them. They look like that. They take that form. I should say they take that form. um yeah, they take that form, and so they haven't been lying about that, but they made it look like it's not real. So this other guy here, so I see a lot of these other beings that I connect with, um that I see, they have these pointy ears, almost like elves, and they're really cute. I really like those ears. This guy was like a sort of a dog, but had more than two eyes. There was like a fairy. I don't know if you guys can see the fairy. She had like, again, she was like it appeared to me as light. So they like energy, light. And you don't have like, you don't see details as much. It's mostly like you see that you understand that they have wings like that. This one had like 4 different wings, and it was like had a little form like light, but it was a fairy of some sort. Let's see what else. What's next? Oh yeah, this was Jesus. I've seen Jesus many times, and the times that I've seen Jesus, he doesn't have blue eyes. It doesn't seem like he has blue eyes, beautiful hair like that. And again, uh, the Jesus that I've seen that took the form of Jesus looks more of a very thin facial features, very coarse curly hair. Uh, and yeah, very thin face. Uh, we do have, I've seen some earth pictures of Jesus that are very close to what I've seen him as in some of these. travels, or or tapping into the Akashic records. They do, but a lot of the ones that we've seen where he looks very European, golden hair, or like I've never seen him like that, honestly. But again, Jesus, again, everything is energy, and energy can take any form. Soul energy can choose any form in any incarnation it wants to. So it's a whole different way of, it's a different paradigm, really. This other guy, he is probably about 4 feet tall, maybe, white. um so these ones are interesting because it's hard to tell whether they're wearing a suit, that it's their skin. It's hard to tell, or that's their skin, but he's very white. um but it looks almost like it could be a bodysuit, but it's part of their skin, almost. Yeah, and he's also he's kind of guided me a few times, um kind of like a spirit guy a few times, and taking me to certain places that I kind of remote viewed. And yeah, he comes on and off. Sometimes he comes, and he's been around for a while. um these ones here. So these ones, oh, actually I'm gonna go here. This one is what is this one? Oh, this one was a spacecraft. I found myself remote viewing a spacecraft, and there were these tall. This was tall alien. He was like a tall white alien. The other one was a little bit shorter. And they were just in the spacecraft. The spacecraft sort of look like the ones that you guys see in the movies. Like, honestly, the spacecrafts are pretty much the same. They have the huge windows. A lot of the spacecrafts are actually looking out, and you can see the Earth. You can see the Earth globe. They're actually outside. Okay, out there. You can see Earth from out there, from their spacecraft. The windows are humongous. You can see through. Yeah, they have panels. Some of them have panels. Well, they look like they have chairs. Some of them. Sometimes in these spacecrafts, there's many different types of beings working together. Like, it looks like they're working. Actually, they look like it's a job. Like, it looks like you would say that it's an office job, or like they're working. They have meetings, and there's different types of them. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying all these, but these yeah, they have yeah, they have many different types of extraterrestrials in this specific spacecraft. I think it would be the Galactic Federation, maybe. I don't know, but there's many of them, different species. Yeah, and they're kind of there. Then these ones here. So this is a reptilian. That guy over there. That guy is a reptilian. Being reptilians, for the most part, have this energy about them. Even when I remote view or astral travel, like, I feel these very intense energy, sort of scary energy. Um, yeah, they are kind of sort of scary, but there's also good ones, I hear. Um, they kind of sort of look like dinosaurs sometimes, some of them, but they're definitely lizards and dinosaurs, like that. Honestly, they like to chase. They like to chase. And then these ones here, this one here, this one reminds me of that. What's that? I think it was, what was that show they used to have? Stranger Things. And there was that horrible flower. So I found myself, this one was friendly though. I found myself, and I feel like this is in the earth, but it's some sort of like ethereal aspect of earth, um, in a different frequency of earth. So this one, I found myself, I was in a field, and there were these like exotic plants. And this one, I was connecting with it telepathically. I don't remember what we talked about. A lot of these things, once you come back to this density, it's hard to bring back the information. It's hard to remember. That's why sometimes I have to, like, either draw right away or write it down, because I forget. Like, honestly, it's hard to keep this information, um, or translate it correctly into human words, or concepts that we understand as humans. A lot of things that you see, or you don't even understand what they are, because there's not a word for it for us. Um, Again, I hope I'm not getting in trouble for sharing all these, but anyways, so this guy here, yeah, so I was communicating with her telepathically, and yeah, I don't know what we talked about, honestly. I don't know what we talked about, but you know, in time feels different when you're in these spaces. Time feels different, so sometimes, you know, what could be like 5 minutes for us, it feels like a way longer time over there, or vice versa. So it's, I can't really relate it to time. um that guy over there, so these worms are scary. Honestly, those worms, I've seen them quite a few times, and they're huge worms, and they have these row of these teeth. They have several, what is that over there? They have maybe two rows of teeth, almost like sharks. They have several, a lot of teeth, and they have no real face like you can see, but the mouth, like the top of like the worm is like the mouth opens up, and it's, they're very scary, honestly. I've seen them a few times. I feel like they're not in, I feel like there might be some in this planet, like again in a different kind of vibration of the planet, but I feel like they are for sure in other planets. I like that's just part of like their animal of those planets. They're huge, like they're big, and I do not want to see one of those in real life. Um, I've seen Moana too. Moana too. She goes down in the ocean, and I think like they encounter one of those ugly worms. Yeah, in Moana too. One of, you'll see the sea snake, the yeah, the sea worm. You'll see like it's very close to that in Moana too, like very close. Can't remember what that one was. So I don't remember. But if I remember, I'll come back to that. Anyways, this one here, this was like a whole scene. Okay, this one was a, so there was an angel, and angels typically, the good angels for me typically look like light, okay? But they take form of an angel, so I can tell. By the way, they have different ranks of angels, and a lot of them, depending on the rank, they have the shape of their wings, like the corner of the wings may be different depending on what rank of angel is. Archangels don't look like that for the most part, but so there's different types of angels. These angels here are the ones that are usually they show up usually in places of a lot of conflict, like war, or like war zones, or like places of suffering. They usually go there for the good souls, like kind of like rescue the good souls. And I don't want to go into details about that either. But anyways, there's an angel there, a woman with her baby. She's running away from this reptilian being. There's another type of sort of like a fairy over there, and a child. Yeah, and then I have some other people here. These other people are people that I've encountered as well, and I feel like they are people that may, they're ghosts. I mean, you can say ghosts, or people that for some reason had some sort of death where they kind of found themselves in some sort of like in between place, but they kind of like, it's almost like they kind of like live in a perpetual state of, it's almost like a movie that plays over and over and over. um like this lady here, I mean, as you can tell, she's, that dress looks from like, you know, 1800s, maybe 1600s. And this lady is in a balcony, and she's always it's almost like a ghost. She's always at the balcony, and she's always like yelling or talking to someone, like from like a second story high. And I don't know how she died, but it's almost like a perpetual state of repeating over and over. I don't know much of her, but she was at a liquor, like a liquor store, I want to say. It's just African American lady. Don't know much about her, but I drew exactly how I saw her. And then this other being here, oh, this one was really cute. This one is in another planet. It's a blue planet. He is blue, but the blue is very shimmery, um, shimmery blue. and he had like little brown little dots, I want to say, or sparkles, but he was very shimmery, and he was like a farmer. It looked like the planet he was working like, oh, what it looked like a farm, I want to say. Very, very, very humble, very, his energy was very loving energy, I want to say. um yeah, like he was just pure love. Honestly, I feel like my heart dropped. Like he was pure love. Like, yeah, he was beautiful. Like, I mean, just his energy, like pure love. I mean, he was so, I mean, that being was beautiful. Anyways, I think that's it. I've seen these other patterns. Oh, maybe I have one more here. This girl right here. Yeah, this girl. So she's another one that I found her. And again, this is a lot of these things that I've seen is a lot of I'm being guided by my higher self, spirit guides. For some reason, I understand that it is some sort of a lesson, so I just have to go with the lesson. I don't fully understand all the lessons, but I just follow the lesson, and there's a I feel like there's a purpose why I'm seeing these things. um this girl, it looks like she may have died in some sort of war zone, but it was, I want to say it was like European war, like Second World War maybe. Like this is in, it felt like it was European, like in Europe, and the way she was dressed, the setting of the place, and she saw me, she saw me there, and she's like, come this way, come this way, and then you hear the bomb. But I feel like these people live in that perpetual, again, like they're like in this cycle of, so I don't know if these are ghosts that are trapped in some way, souls that are trapped in some way. Don't know, but we can always like pray for them, and hopefully, and there's angels that eventually go there and like try to help these people, maybe they reincarnate and try to like have a different path. I'm not sure. Is there any more? Okay, so yeah, this lady here. That lady there, also, I don't know who she is. She had really black hair. I haven't made any coloring on her, but the way in which she was dressed was not very modern. And then my friend over here, he's really cute. He is, I don't know, but he has like a spacesuit right there. Like that's his like uniform. And he had like those like elephant ears, orange hair, uh, very friendly. I feel like he was my friend. I don't know if I was like a flashback of a memory, but I feel like I knew this guy. Yeah, anyways, those are the ones I'm gonna share today. But again, you know, the main point is not to get stuck in who is who, what is what. Don't get stuck in that mind. The most important thing is for us to see the greater picture of things and see how they are just like us, and how they are co-creating in this whole creation, God's creation of realities. And they are having their own experiences just like we are, um, in their own frameworks of reality, just like we are here. And yeah, and there's differences in frequency, and it can be very chaotic, just like when you um like if you hear when you hear that a sound, or like a squeaky sound, that can be very chaotic for your ears. It's almost like the same. This is this dissonance of energies. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna share with that. I'm sharing today, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.